Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this warm-up event that precedes the beginning of the new edition of CodeWeek. And we have the pleasure today to have with us Tommaso Della Vecchia, who is also welcoming you and opening to some extent Europe CodeWeek 2023. Good morning, Tommaso.
Good morning, Alessandro. Good morning, everybody, and greetings from Brussels. We're at the Future Classroom Lab here, so we will be actually streaming also from these premises on Monday at 4 p.m. Central European Time, the kickoff event for the schools of EU Code Week on the first Monday of Code Week. Of course, Code Week starts tomorrow. 14 hours to go, more or less. It's really, really exciting to be here for yet another edition, the 11th edition of EU Code Week. And on behalf of the EU Code Week team here in Brussels, but also remotely, we're very, very happy to welcome you for this new Code Week Eve kind of event that hopefully will be interesting for many teachers, many students and pupils in classes across Europe. Thank you to Alessandro Bogliolo, of course, the coordinator of the EU Code Week ambassadors for these initiatives. This has been really a great opportunity to have something hands-on, practical for you to do and experiment with resources that might be useful for EU Code Week, and also to connect at least ideally virtually with many students and teachers from across Europe, which is really one of the values and essences of the Code Week initiative. So thank you very much, Alessandro. Welcome to all of you. I wish you a great session right now, and of course also what will follow up later, so your own creations taking shape. And of course, I wish you a very happy Code Week in a few hours. And remember, of course, that every week is Code Week, but these are the weeks for us to celebrate and really enjoy these coding times that we can spend all together on experimenting with digital technology and also not so digital, even unplugged, as Professor Alessandro Bogliolo always told us. So back to you, Alessandro, and best of luck for this wonderful initiative.
Thank you very much and enjoy Code Week. Bye-bye, Tommaso.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, welcome again. So this is a pan-European event. So this means that there are classes from around Europe following this event. And that's the reason why I'm speaking English. I'm speaking slowly and elementary English, not only because I'm not an English-speaking man, but also because I would like all of you to follow very easily this webinar, just concentrating on what we will do together. So let's start by sharing my screen. So I share a screen where I've already opened Scratch. So right now you are seeing what I see. So this is my desktop computer, and this is a Scratch. And what we will do together today is create a new project. So I click on Create, and a new project comes to the picture. But before starting our coding session, I would like to introduce also the tool that we are using today. And you see not only my screen at the moment, but you see also an image. I will now change the image because the new image that I want to show you is a map of Europe. And I want the map to be bigger. Let me try to make it bigger. Here it is. And I want also the map to be active, because I would like to ask you where you come from. So could you please tap on the map to tell me where you are at the moment? Now, when you see the live blinking, this means that you can tap on the map and provide your feedback. And there is the feedback. So that's very, very nice. I'm impressed by the number of countries attending. So thank you very much for joining. I see a lot of people from Italy. So thank you to also the Italian teachers for having involved the classes. And the reason why there are so many Italian teachers is because I'm Italian and it was easier for them to know about this event. But I'm very, very proud to see many of you from other countries. And I want also to introduce something else. You see that there is a possibility of changing the color of your circle. And while you try to change the color by clicking on, you see, there is a little icon to the bottom of the screen that you can click to open all the palette of the colors that you can choose. I provide more tabs to you to add to the map. So now try to make tabs of different colors. Okay, I see yellow, light blue, green, light blue again. Is there any other color that you would like to choose? Great. So very nice colors are appearing on the map. And this makes it easier to find out your tab by distinguishing it from all the others. Okay, thanks a lot. So I think that right now we can go back to our programming environment, coding environment, which is Scratch. So this is about visual programming or block-based visual programming. Let's see why it is called in this way. So I switch to a different layout because right now we can get rid of this map. And by the way, I'd like to inform you and to share with you the fact that we are about 5,000 people following this webinar at this time. So the new layout is just this one because I want to share my full screen with you. And here, what happens right now is that we have a cat here on stage. This is the stage, the right part of my screen is the stage, while this is a white sheet for coding. And here, what we have are all the instructions that we can use to code. You see how many? Now, the reason why I opened this programming environment is because I want to build a program with you. And then the program can be executed by other people. And other people will see the result of our program and possibly play with it in this way, in full screen, as I'm doing right now. And in order to make it start, they have to press the green flag. And what do you think that will happen if I press the green flag right now? So in order for you to answer this question, I would like to display some buttons here they are, and I ask you to press the green button if you think that the cat will move when I press the green flag, while press the red button if you expect nothing to happen, and press the yellow button if you just don't know, if you have no idea. So green, the cat moves; red, nothing happens; yellow, you don't know. Okay, I'm pretty curious. I can show you the results. Here they are. So many of you expect the scratch cat to move when I press the green flag. Some of you don't expect it to move, and some others, about 8%, just don't know. Let's try. So I press the green flag and nothing happens. Why? Just because I haven't used any instruction to make the cat move. So if I want to make it move a little bit to the right of the screen, for instance, which instruction should I take? Let me show you the same instructions that I have, and I want you to help me choose the right one. So here are the instructions, and what I ask you to tell me is which instructions to pick in order to make the cat move a little bit to the right of the screen. I'm just curious. Okay, I see that some of you, okay, many of you, almost all of you, are picking the first instructions. Let's see if it's the right one. I think so. I think that you made the right choice, but since we are using a programming tool, we have always to test what happens when we use instructions. So let's see. I pick the instructions that you choose and put it here. Right now, if I click on this instruction, please notice that here there is a position of the cat, which is 0, 0. 0 is the horizontal position, while the other 0 is the vertical position. Look, if I write here 50, the cat is moved. Or if I move the cat with my mouse, because this is the stage where I am deciding the initial position of the cat, as you can see, the coordinates X and Y change accordingly. So let me bring it back to the original position and see what happens if I click on this instruction. By clicking on the instruction, I ask the cat to execute it. Let's see. Okay, it's moving. You see, and it moves 10 steps at a time, because every time I press on this instruction, then the cat moves by 10 steps to the right. And in fact, I clicked twice on this instruction, and you see that right now the horizontal position has become 20, while it was 0 at the beginning. I can make this instruction bigger to make it easier for you to see also the numbers inside it. As you probably know, at the end of this coding session, I will share this project with you, and the project can be seen in your own language. Because if you go on settings and you choose language, you can see how many different languages you have. And for instance, I am Italian and I could select Italiano. And in this case, I see the same instruction translated in Italian. So after this coding session that is in English, because basic English is a vehicular language, you can take the project and have it translated in your own language to make it more, understandable. So let's switch back to English. Here it is. So now what I ask you again is what happens if I now go to the front end of this project and I try to play with it. So I'm asking the same question that I asked before. What do we expect to happen when I press the green flag? So again, tell me that nothing will happen with the red, that the cat will move to the right with the green button, and that you don't know with the yellow button. Okay, let's see. Here we are. So now let me show you the percentage. You see that many of you, the majority of the voters, think that the cat now will move, but about 20% of you think that it will not, in spite of the fact that I added an instruction to the dashboard. So let's see what happens when I click. Unfortunately, nothing happens. So let's try to understand why. Let's stop the project and look inside. The problem is that clicking on a flag is an event, and this kind of event is not associated with this action. So I have to go to the event tab here and look what I find here. When the green flag is clicked, then move 10 steps. And in order to make these two actions correlated, or better, this action associated with this event, I need, you see, to combine the two blocks together. And now, if I go there, so let me get rid of the buttons. And I click on the green flag, you see that the cat moves. And it moves every time I click on the green flag. But this is just a standard Scratch project because I'm using the main Scratch character, which is the cat. I could choose a different character in order to make the project more personalized. And there are many, many characters, many, many sprites that I can choose from. You see, this is a library that Scratch makes available. I'm scrolling very quickly the screen because I don't want to use any of them. But let me just take, for instance, bananas. If I take bananas, you see that bananas appear on the screen, and right now there are no more instructions here. Do you know why? Just because the instructions were associated just with the cat. see what happens. If I click on the green flag, the cat moves while bananas do not. In fact, there are no instructions, no actions associated with the banana sprite. So bananas have no behavior associated with the sprite, while the cat knows what to do because we told him to move. Okay? But I want to choose a different character, and in order to choose something which is representative of CodeWeek, I have several robots from the CodeWeek graphical elements and visuals, and I would like to ask you to help me choose the proper one. So I select a different image, which is this one. Here it is. And right now, what I ask you to do is to help me find Ali. Ali is one of the main characters of CodeWeek. I'm curious to see if you recognize Ali out from all the robots that I'm displaying right now. Okay, you can click on the robots and try to find Ali. Let me see what happens. Okay, you see that right now percentages are appearing, and almost 90% of you have picked out the right robot who's named Ali. So let's take Ali as a character for our project. Okay, here I am. So let me switch back to the full screen layout. Here we are. And in order to add Ali as a character, which is not already a sprite in Scratch, I have to upload it from my library. So I go here and I upload Ali. Here is my library of characters. You see there are all of them here. And I take this one, and this one is Ali. Okay? Right now I can also look at how Ali is drawn by looking at this tab, which is called Costumes. And here I find the drawing that the image that I just uploaded on Scratch. And I can, for instance, resize it. So let me resize it a little bit because it's much bigger than the Scratch cat. Okay, here it is. Then I can also change its size from here. What's the difference? The difference is that this is the original drawing of the character, the size, the inherent size of the character, while this size is the size that can be changed at runtime. So the program can decide to change the size of the characters to make them, for instance, smaller because they need to appear far away from us, or bigger because they get closer, and so on. Okay, but this is more or less the right size. So at this time, I want to remove these other characters and play just with Ali. Okay, so now we have Ali, and we have to decide what Ali has to do. And we already found that it is appropriate to start with this specific block saying that some actions have to be associated with the beginning of the execution, so press on the green flag, and what we decide to do is to make it move 10 steps to the right. And we can check that the same instructions work on Ali as well as they worked on the scratch cut. Good. Now, let me bring Ali back to the center of the screen. And what I do right now is to also take a different instruction, this one, and see what happens right now. Ali is not only moving 10 steps to the right, but then Ali also turns 15 degrees clockwise. What does it mean? It means that, as you see, Ali has moved a little bit to the right, but then Ali has also rotated a little bit, turned a little bit. So this means that the next time I ask Ali to move, let me see what happens. You see, Ali is not only moving to the right, but also going down a little bit just because the direction has turned. Okay, let me bring it back, or I can even leave it here and see what happens if I click repeatedly on the green flag. So let me ask you what you think that will happen. If I press several times repeatedly on the green flag, what do you expect to happen? Let me ask you with the three buttons. So with the green button, you tell me that nothing will happen. With the red button, you tell me, I'm changing a little bit of things. You tell me that Ali will make a circle. Or with the yellow button, you tell me that Ali will go straight to the right. Okay? So green button, nothing happens when I click repeatedly on the green flag. With the red button, you tell me that Ali will make a circle if I press repeatedly on the green flag. And with yellow, you tell me that Ali will go straight to the right. Okay, please. Wow, very, very nice. Let me show you the results, which are very promising, because many of you think that Ali will draw a circle. That's very interesting. Let's try. Let's try. So I have just the green button to press in order to make Ali do something. Okay. Wow, see what happens. Ali is making a circle. So in order to better understand what Ali is doing, let me add another set of blocks. You see that I have so many blocks, so I can do almost everything, but there are even many more if I click here. And in particular, what I'm doing right now is choosing also the pen tab that provides some other very interesting blocks. Because if I take, for instance, this block here, pen down, this means that I'm providing Ali with a pen. Is like if Ali was going around bringing a pen with it. And if the pen is down, this means that while moving, Ali is also drawing on the floor, in this case, on our stage. Let's see what happens if we do something like this. Let me go again here and see what happens. You see, right now Ali is really drawing a circle, not only moving around, but also drawing a circle while moving. But there is something strange because the circle is not very easy to understand where the circle will appear. And I show you why. Because if I go back to the way in which Ali was drawn, I see that the middle of the image is more or less here. And this is the point where the pen is tracking the movements. So if I move Ali on top, like here, you see that in this case, Ali looks like moving on top of the circle that is drawing, which is easier to understand to me. So I like to do something like this to make it clearer or easier to understand. And this is just to show you that you can always decide also how to place your character, your sprite, with respect to the entire size of the drawing that you have available to draw the sprite. So let's do it this way and see what happens again. Let me take Ali from here and move it here. Then we will do it with coding. Right now, I just want to show you how the new circle appears. You see, here it is. Okay, this is let's say nice enough, but not a very amazing program to play with, because we cannot do anything. And usually when you press the green flag, you expect the entire execution to be available for you, not just a small step that then requires you to press the flag again and again. So in order to make Ali do not only one step when we click the green flag, but more steps, we have several options. One of them is to tell Ali to do it repeatedly in this way. I can tell Ali to repeat 10 times move and turn, and see what happens if I do so. You see, it was not enough, unfortunately. Why was it not enough? Because in 10 repetition, the number of degrees of this rotation is 10 by 15, which is 150. And how many degrees should we turn in order to make an entire circle? 360. So this means that we need to repeat it more and more time. How many times? Do you want to tell me how many times? Do you want to try? Okay, let's make it easier. I can change. Oh, wait. I have another question for you. Assume that we just change from, let me do it this way. This is the program that we had before, and by pressing the flag again and again, we drew these circles. Now, let me move Ali in a different place and change the number of degrees. Now we have 10 degrees rather than 15 every time we press we click on the green flag. What I would like to know is if in this case, let me show you the buttons again. In this case, while moving, Ali will draw a circle exactly like the previous one, and you can tell me this with the yellow button, or you expect the circle to be bigger than the previous ones, green button, or you expect the circle to be smaller than the previous one, red button. This is a tough question. But right now, I see that the green button is winning. Okay, it's getting better and better. So many of you are voting for the green option, which is the right one. See what happens. You see, the circle is bigger because more steps are required in order to make an entire loop. And since every step we turn only 10 degrees, we need to make many times the same steps in order to complete the circle. But at every step, the length, so the horizontal movement, is the same, 10 steps. And that's why we need more steps to complete a circle, meaning that the perimeter of the circle is longer. Now, I wanted to ask you how many times I have to press the green flag in order to make a complete circle in this case. And I use the 3 buttons again to tell you, to ask you if the number of steps, the number of repetitions has to be 20, yellow button, 20, so like this, yellow button, or 36, green button, or 48, red button. Are you ready? Okay, let's go for it. Let me show you the results. Okay. I think that you are perfectly right, because the majority of you is telling me to insert 36 here, and let's see what happens. Okay, let me put Ali here. Wow, good job, very good job. Okay, thank you very much. You are helping me so much. Okay, now there is something that we need to do before going ahead, because we are writing on the stage and never cleaning it. So let's see if there is a way of erasing what we did. And what I suggest is to erase the previous drawing at the very beginning. So you see, erase all. Okay, much better. And I'd like also to decide how to where to place Ali when the program starts, because otherwise Ali starts every time from a different position that is the results of previous execution, which is not very good now that we are really going into programming. So what I want to do is to go here and to decide where to place Ali at the beginning. So for instance, in position 0, 0. And I can also decide the direction. And the direction is this one. See what happens? Okay. And now, even if I move Ali in another place, when I click on the green flag, you see what Ali is doing. Now, I have several different things to do right now, and I do it quickly to just let you know what we could eventually do and see what I can find here, which is very, very nice. Look, I changed the color of the pen within the loop. So this means that every segment of this apparently circle, because I'm speaking about segments or edges, and as you know for sure, circles have no edges. But our circle looks like a circle, but it is indeed made of very small segments. If I made the segments bigger, like for instance, doing something like, okay, let me show you what happens right now. Wow, looks like a rainbow, but I can do even something better, which is this one. How do you like it? Do you like it? I hope so. I really hope so, but I don't want to waste time asking you. So I count on the fact that you like it. But if I run it again, you see, the circle are even too big just because the size of the pen has become too big. So I want to reset the size of the pen every time I start the program. Okay, here it is. And now I want to do something more with you, which is associating the actions of Ali not only to the click on the green flag, but also to other events. And in particular, I can decide to associate actions to any key of the keyboard. So when M key is pressed, or let me take another one. When T key is pressed. Allora, why I choose the M and T? Just because I have two actions which are called move and turn. So right now I want to take these two actions, move and turn, and see what happens if I just let this program execute. So at first, Ali is drawing a circle, a colorful circle, but then I press the M key. You see, every time I press M, Ali is moving, while every time I press T, Ali is turning. So right now, I can use these two keys to make Ali turn as I wish. So I can move Ali around while playing with this, and this can be used also to draw. But let me put some other controls on this very simple program. By associating keys, different keys, with the other instructions that we have already added to our program, like for instance the pen color. So let's use C to change the color of the pen. Okay, and then I go here. Change pen color by 10. Okay, now I can not only move and turn, but I can also, you see, change the color of the pen and then turn and then move, change the color of the pen, change the color of the pen, and so on. Okay, and let me also do something else, which is okay, pen down and pen up. Okay, let me use U for pen up and D for pen down. Okay, here it is. Okay, let's see what happens now. If I press U and then move, you see, Ali is not drawing anymore. Then I press D, pen down, and Ali is drawing again. And now let me try to draw a circle by pressing repeatedly M and T. M, T, M, T, M, T, M, T. And now I can bring the pen up, move again, turn, move here, and change the color twice, double C, and then move, turn, move, turn, move, turn. Oh, I forgot what. Which key should I press? Please help me. So I have to ask you which key I forgot to press. So should I press in order to make Ali draw a circle? Letter U, yellow button, letter M, green button, or letter D, red button? Okay, let me show the partial results while other results are coming. Okay, so you are proposing letter M that was associated with the green button, and look what happens with the M. You see, if I press M, Ali is just moving without drawing on stage. If I want to make it draw again, which key should I press? Notice that what happens here, I'm just now executing the program, but you see the program here. So you have all the elements to understand what's the right answer. And I'll ask you again to help me press the right button. So let me remind you that the button are the ones that I suggested are U associated with yellow, M associated with green, and D associated with red. Okay, let me show you the results. And now the red is winning. And in fact, if I press D, and then I move and turn again, okay, good job. Now, the last thing that I want to do with you is show you that we can even change the backdrop. So the background of this project. And in order to make a personalized background, I would like to invite all of you to draw it with me. So let me show you an image, which is this one. Here it is. And right now, what I ask you is to pick a color for your tap and try to place your taps as close as possible to the bubbles of CodeWeek of the same color, or at least at the same eye. So let's try to do what you like to do. This is a free activity, so you have no constraints. Okay. So don't forget to change the color of your tap. Wow, they look, wow, this is brilliant. You are doing so good job. So you are doing exactly the same color as the bubbles. That's fantastic. Oh, wow, I like it so much. I think that this will be a very confusing backdrop because if we use it as a backdrop, we probably get confused because it will be very difficult to distinguish what is happening on the foreground, but that's fantastic. Wow. So now let me ask Gianmarco to generate a picture from this so that I can upload it as a backdrop on Scratch. Great job. Okay, now we are done with this. And while waiting for Gianmarco to generate the backdrop, I propose you also to try to color Ali. Or better, why don't we add a friend to Ali? So let me show you this image. And now I ask you not to point out Ali from this picture, but to choose one of the other robots that you want me to add to the stage. So we have to add a friend on stage. Okay, make your choice. Okay. So at the moment, the preferred one is the robot to the upper left. Okay. Okay, that's your preferred robot. Now I'm ready to add everything, both the friend valley and the new robot. So let me choose them. Here we are. I have to stop the poll and go back to the other layout. Choose this one. Here we are. Now, how to add a new backdrop? So I can choose from standard ones as for the sprites, and there are many of them very, very nice, like for instance, the blue sky, which is, you see, it is not so easy to distinguish the colors as it was before, but this is a nice background, which is quite neutral. But let's try to upload our background. To upload the background, you have to go here, and here is ours. Ooh, that's amazing. So let me try to resize it a little bit because I made it squared and I want to occupy the entire screen. Okay, let's see how it looks like. Oof. Here it is. Not bad. And why don't we try also to... oh no, I forgot to do what I promised, to add a friend. So I have to upload a new sprite, and the sprite that you choose is this one. Here it is. So let me make it a little bit smaller. It is very hard to distinguish everything on our confusing background, but what I would like to do right now is to go here and see that even if I choose the background, I can switch to a different background without losing the previous one. So since right now we are drawing in colors, it is better to have a neutral background like this, or even this one. But while saving this project, I will make you available also this background that you drew. Okay, so this means that you will find all the elements. And since this is Alice's friend, which is here, I want to do also something else, which is add several costumes. Costumes are the different aspects that a sprite can take. And instead adding more characters here, what I want to do is just to upload all the other robots as different costumes of the same character. And I'm doing so in order to allow you to play with all of them and to use your preferred ones. You not necessarily have to use all of them. Okay. Okay. So as you can see, if you want another character like this, you can always duplicate and add another character to your project by choosing the costume. But right now, since this is Alice's friend for us, let me just go back here and see that there is no action associated with Ali's friend. And what I want to do is to press space to change the costume of Ali. So basically what we can do is to even change background and change the costume using coding. And in this case, under the tab looks, we can switch costume by clicking space. So let's go back here. Now I press space, and you see that every time I press the space key, then the friend of Ali changes its costume. And this means that we can choose a different friend Alice can play with. Okay? So there are so many other things that I would like to do with you, but I think that the time is running out. And since you are at school, you cannot stay longer. So I'm afraid that we need to interrupt right now our project. But as you probably know, this will be just a root project. So let me share it. And let me also call it root of CodeWeek 2023, because this will be the original project of a remix tree. So this means that while shared, this project can be found by all of you, and you can always look inside or take it as your own project and remix it in order to modify it and make it much better, useful, playful than it is right now. Because we had just a very short time and we were so many people, 5,600 in this time, working together on this project. This is our project, but this is just the beginning of a tree of remixes of different projects that can start from this one. So I'll make it available. This is the link that I will share in order to allow all of you to play with it. Let me, for instance, tell you which is the link, but then it will be also shared, but I can also show it here. Here it is. And this is not to be clicked right now as a link. This is just to show you the complete URL. But then I have also something else to ask you. I want to ask you if you liked this session. And to do so, I have this way of asking you. You have probably familiarized with this kind of questions and tools. So right now you have to click on these emoticons, these faces, to tell me whether or not you have liked this activity. Okay, please. Okay, thank you very much. I see that so many of you have enjoyed coding together in this strange way. Needless to say, this is not the fastest way for coding, because now we tried to involve all the people, thousands of people working on the same project, and the interactions took several times that could be spent just by coding and being more productive if we were all together. So we had to use this tool just, to overcome the distance among us. But I'm very, very happy and very, very proud that all of you contributed to the development of this root project, not because the root project is by itself something valuable, but because it is a very valuable seed for having a very productive coding session, visual programming coding session during CodeWeek. And I strongly, warmly invite all of you to start from this project, remix it, and make it much, much, much better. So CodeWeek ambassadors from all the countries are invited to provide first remixes, possibly adding as a prefix the country code in order to make country-specific remixes more easily recognizable. Notice that I used no words at all, so you don't need to do any language localization, but with Scratch you can make your characters speak or write, and in this case language should be used as well. So please feel free to remix it as you wish, and I'm very curious to see how nice your projects will become. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. I'm very happy that so many of you took part in this preliminary warm-up activity and enjoy Europe Code Week. Bye-bye.